Elon Musk, the wealthiest man on the planet, a true icon of innovation, and someone folks have even called the real-life Iron Man. This is a guy who could own just about anything space flights that break through the atmosphere, multi-billion-dollar ventures, electric cars that have reshaped an entire industry. But there was a time when things weren't so glamorous. Believe it or not, he had to sell off all his real estate, crash at his factory, and pour his own paycheck into keeping his company alive when nobody else believed in his dream. Today, as the mastermind behind world-changing ideas, everything from satellite internet to clean energy, Elon Musk remains a lightning rod for controversy. He doesn't need a title or a corner office to make waves. This is a man who can make entire governments think twice. One comment about federal policy, and suddenly he's in a showdown nobody saw coming toe-to-toe with the President of the United States. From an inspiration to millions to a figure some view with skepticism, the question lingers: is Elon Musk truly changing the world for the better, or is he quietly redefining power in his own unique way? Let's take a step back and trace his journey from a lonely kid in South Africa to the richest billionaire on Earth to find the answer. This is a man who could revolutionize the electric car industry, bring humanity closer to stepping foot on Mars, and amass a fortune that dwarfs even Rockefeller's. But to get to that point, he once lay motionless on a schoolyard, beaten so badly he couldn't stand, not because he was weak, but because, back then, in that world, Elon Musk didn't yet have the power he wields today. So how did he rise from those tough years to stand at the very top? Elon Musk was born on June 28, 1971, in Pretoria, South Africa, into a middle-class family with 3 children. His father, Elon Musk, was an electromechanical engineer, and his mother, Mai Musk, was a nutritionist and model. From a young age, Elon spent most of his time reading books, tinkering with machines, and standing out as different from the other kids his age. You'd think Elon's childhood might have been smooth and quiet, but after his parents divorced, he went to live with his father, a man Elon later described as emotionally dangerous. That relationship left deep scars, and it wasn't just at home. School brought its own challenges. Elon was often bullied, sometimes so badly he ended up in the hospital. One time he was pushed down a staircase, his head slamming into the concrete, leaving him unable to get up on his own. Elon had almost no friends. He spent his days reading science fiction novels, teaching himself to code, and writing software on a computer he bought with his own saved-up money at age 12. He sold his first video game for $500, a modest start, but a meaningful one for that lonely boy. So what was it that took this isolated kid, writing his first lines of code, and carried him to a world of billion-dollar deals and rockets? Who would have thought that the kid, once shunned by his entire class, would one day stand up to the United States government, fearlessly challenging a president to defend what he believed was right? But before he could speak with that kind of authority, he paid a steep price: his youth, his failures, and countless nights sleeping in an office without a bed. In 1988, Elon Musk left South Africa at just 17 years old, all alone. He landed in Canada and took on whatever manual labor he could find, shoveling grain, scrubbing boiler room floors, cleaning livestock pens, anything to get by. But deep down, Elon held fast to a conviction one day. He'd build something truly extraordinary. A few years later, he enrolled at the University of Pennsylvania, earning 2 degrees before quickly turning his back on academia to chase technology. In 1995, he and his brother founded Zip2. They lived at the office, slept on the floor, showered at a nearby gym, and worked 120 hours a week. When the company teetered on the edge of bankruptcy, Elon refused to give up. Finally, in 1999, Compaq bought Zip2 for $307 million, leaving Elon with his first $22 million. He didn't hold on to it for long. Nearly every penny went into his next venture, X.com, an online payment platform that later merged and became PayPal in 2002. When eBay acquired PayPal for $1.5 billion, Elon walked away with $180 million. But that's when the real challenges kicked in. He poured every dollar into founding Tesla, SpaceX, and Solar City all at the same time. The press called him the madman burning cash, and investors turned their backs. By 2008, both Tesla and SpaceX were on the brink of collapse. Elon was sleeping at the factory, living on canned food, and sinking nearly his entire personal fortune to keep Tesla afloat. SpaceX, meanwhile, suffered 3 failed launches in a row. Once again, Elon faced the prospect of losing everything. It wasn't until SpaceX's 4th launch succeeded that the tide began to turn. NASA signed a contract worth over $1 billion. Tesla weathered the financial crisis and started its remarkable ascent. Years later, he'd use those very companies to wield global influence, even going so far as to challenge a president. But before he held that kind of power, he came close to losing it all time and again. So, having survived those grueling years, what will this man do with a fortune worth hundreds of billions of dollars in his hands? Not everyone with hundreds of billions of dollars can reshape entire industries, redefine media, and chase dreams of space exploration, all at the same time. After more than a decade of battling skepticism and building from the ground up, Elon Musk entered the 2020s as one of the most influential figures on the planet. Tesla, a company that once teetered on the edge of bankruptcy, became the world's largest electric car manufacturer, with a market value surpassing Toyota, General Motors, and Ford combined. SpaceX made history as the first private company to send humans to the International Space Station while rolling out Starlink, a global satellite network providing internet coverage and achievement unmatched in modern aerospace history. In 2022, Elon shocked the world by spending $44 billion to buy Twitter, a controversial social media platform, and rebranding it as X. This wasn't just a business deal. It was a bold statement that he aimed to control the flow of global information in a way no politician or tycoon had ever done before. As of 2025, Elon Musk's net worth is estimated at around $385 billion, far exceeding John D. Rockefeller's wealth when adjusted for today's dollars. Most of his fortune comes from a 43% stake in SpaceX and a 21% stake in Tesla, not to mention his shares in Neuralink, XAI, and a host of other companies he co-founded. He's not just building wealth, he's redefining what power means. For Elon Musk, true power isn't about the balance in a bank account, it's about shaping the future. But what's most surprising is that he doesn't choose to live like a king. When you're the richest man in the world, you could live anywhere. But Elon Musk chooses to live owning almost nothing. For nearly a decade, Elon Musk lived in spaces most people only see in magazines. He owned 7 California mansions, spread from Los Angeles to the affluent suburbs of San Francisco, each with its own personality, reflecting a different chapter of his life. In Bel Air, he owned 4 neighboring estates, perched on a hill overlooking Stone Canyon. One, worth about $17 million, had a high-ceilinged living room with floor-to-ceiling glass, Italian marble floors, and a 2-story mahogany library. The main mansion, valued at nearly $24 million, featured 7 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, a wine cellar holding thousands of bottles, and a home theater. Up north, he bought a historic French-style villa in Hillsborough with slate-gray roofs and a European garden spanning over 17 acres. It was his retreat when he craved absolute quiet. He even purchased the former home of Gene Wilder with the condition that its soul remain intact, not overly grand. It held a nostalgia Elon cherished, and for a time, his mother lived there. But in 2020, Elon announced he'd sell all his personal real estate not because he needed the money, but to simplify and focus on his mission. And he did just that, selling off nearly $130 million worth of properties, keeping not a single one. Since then, he's lived in Boca Chica, Texas, in a 37-square-meter prefabricated home, a boxable casita worth about $50,000. No iron gates, no swimming pool, no elevator, just 1 bedroom, a small kitchen, and a desk by the window where he can see SpaceX's rocket launch site in the distance. Every morning, Elon walks to the factory, spending most of his time in technical meetings and inspecting production lines. No housekeepers, no staff of attendants. His life now is startlingly simple. But that simplicity keeps him laser-focused on what matters most to him: rockets, electric cars, and humanity's future. And if you think this minimalism stops at his home, take a look at how he gets around. For most people, a car is a status symbol. For Elon Musk, it's a tool to reinvent an entire industry. There was a time when Elon Musk was obsessed with speed, driving a McLaren F1 like it was his daily ride. That car, bought in 1999 for over $1 million, was a rare speed icon, but not long after, he crashed it while giving investor Peter Thiel a test ride. No insurance, no salvaging the wrecked McLaren became an early sign of Elon's indifference to luxury possessions. Around the same time, he owned a Lotus Esprit S1, the submersible car from a James Bond film, a one-of-a-kind custom model. But here's the thing. Elon didn't see it as a collector's item. It inspired him to create something groundbreaking, the Tesla Roadster, an electric sports car unlike anything else. When he founded Tesla, Elon didn't just want to sell cars. He wanted to redefine performance in the auto industry. Electric vehicles had to be efficient, beautiful, fast, and thrilling to drive. Today, he often drives a Tesla Model S Plaid, a sedan dubbed the world's quickest accelerating production car, capable of going from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 2 seconds. It's not just a car, it's a declaration that green technology doesn't sacrifice performance. He also drives a Model X, an SUV with falcon wing doors, designed to fit his kids while accelerating like a sports car. Elon once called it the family car, for people who never wanted a family car. Then there's the Cybertruck, a stainless steel, angular pickup that looks like it rolled out of a sci-fi movie. Mocked at its debut for its unconventional design, Elon still drives it to the office, to events, and even to gauge public reactions. No entourage, no security detail, just a man and a vehicle that's never been seen on the road before. No Rolls-Royce, no Bentley, no vintage cars polished weekly. For Elon, cars aren't for show, they're for driving change. Every vehicle he chooses serves a bigger vision. Even when he travels by his private Gulfstream G650ER jet, worth $65 million, it's not about luxury. He flies to save time, not to be noticed. Once, he shared that he redesigned an entire production line schematic during a flight, with the same intensity he brings to the factory floor. Everything he operates, cars, planes, has one thing in common: it serves the mission, never overshadowing it. That mindset carries over into how he lives every day. Elon Musk's daily life is unlike that of any other billionaire. No packed schedule of cocktail parties, no board meetings on yachts or golf courses. For him, each day is a cycle of work, engineering, and meticulous decision-making, down to the smallest bolt. He starts his day early, spending most of it at Tesla and SpaceX factories. No air-conditioned office, no bulletproof glass. Elon might suddenly appear on the production line, quizzing an engineer about a tiny detail, then sketching a new structural diagram on the spot, a habit those around him call both bizarre and intimidating. His schedule is divided into 5-minute blocks, with no second wasted. He eats quickly, sleeps briefly, and rarely attends social events unless absolutely necessary. For Elon, time is the most valuable asset, and the only one he can't replenish. His personal spending is largely private, but according to family and staff, he eats simply, sometimes relying on canned food at the factory. No private chefs, no collection of luxury watches, no vacation homes. His hobbies, if you can call them that, are coding, reading science fiction, and experimenting with AI models, energy systems, and new manufacturing tech. For Elon, this isn't work, it's how he lives. Yet, in this seemingly austere lifestyle, one thing keeps him grounded: his family. People call him a genius, an eccentric, a revolutionary. But to a few kids, he's simply Dad. Elon Musk has 11 children from different relationships. He rarely speaks publicly about his family and almost never appears with his kids in front of cameras. But those close to him say he's a serious father, not overly affectionate, but always there when it counts. Sometimes he brings his children to SpaceX's office, letting them see the world he's building, a world he believes they'll live in one day. His personal relationships have had their ups and downs, from his first wife, Justine Wilson, to supermodel Tallulah Riley, to singer Grimes. Each relationship has navigated the tension between love and his enormous workload. He's admitted, I'm not great at relationships, but I'm always honest about what I can and can't give. Beyond work and family, Elon channels much of his wealth into goals far bigger than himself. In 2021, he donated $5 million to Khan Academy, supporting free online education for kids worldwide. Then came $100 million for the X Prize competition, a tech challenge to capture carbon and combat climate change. Through Starlink, he provided emergency internet to Ukraine during wartime and brought satellite connectivity to remote areas that had never had a signal before. He doesn't give to earn praise. Most of his donations are made quietly, only revealed when the receiving organizations share the news. For Musk, helping the world isn't about words, it's about action and a long-term vision. But not every action is welcomed, and not every vision is embraced by the world. He's poured hundreds of millions of dollars into supporting Ukraine, funding free education, and fighting climate change. But by 2025, just for opposing a federal spending bill, Elon Musk was branded a traitor to America, even going head-to-head with President Donald Trump himself. Once a symbol of innovation, he became a lightning rod for suspicion, a man with too much power and too few limits. That controversy wasn't the first time Elon faced criticism, and it certainly won't be the last. For years, Elon Musk has been a deeply divisive figure in the American public's eyes. Half the country admires him for his pioneering vision, while the other half condemns him for his brash, unpredictable statements and a level of influence that stretches far beyond what any businessman should have. Back in 2008, he was nearly broke. Tesla couldn't sell cars, and SpaceX had failed 3 rocket launches in a row. Elon poured every dime of his personal fortune into saving both companies. If that 4th launch had failed, his career would have ended at age 37. But the rocket soared, and from that moment he never looked back. With success came even greater controversy. He's been attacked for using a private Gulfstream G650ER jet while championing clean energy. The press labeled him a modern hypocrite, an image that clashed with the very Tesla brand he represents. In 2022, Elon banned the Elon Jet account, a bot tracking his private plane's movements on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, though he cited personal safety concerns. The media pounced, accusing him of undermining the free speech he'd once fiercely defended. The tipping point came in 2025. The Trump administration proposed a federal spending bill that impacted technology funding, and Elon Musk publicly opposed it. He wrote on X, "I won't let the future of science and technology be decided by politics." Donald Trump fired back, slamming him as disloyal, ignorant, and a man propped up by the government who turned his back. Elon didn't flinch, responding bluntly if the bill passed. He'd pull all SpaceX projects from federal partnerships. Overnight, the media dubbed him America's shadow president, the only person who could shake financial markets, national defense, and public discourse with a single tweet. But with that influence comes isolation. In a brief interview afterward, when asked if he feared the public's backlash, Elon simply said, "I don't need to be liked, I need to do what's right." That steely resolve, both admirable and unnerving, sets him apart from anyone else in our time. The question remains after all this, what will his legacy be?